I'm back with Marie Scodari, and we're discussing panic attacks. Marie, we talked about some of the causes, we talked about the types of panic attacks, and we talked about the symptoms. I'm interested to know if it can be treated and if it can be cured.
In my opinion, absolutely. I've been a therapist for 22 years. I've seen a lot of patients come in with panic attacks, and I've seen a lot of them considerably, if not completely, devoid of panic attacks.
So it's definitely treatable.
Yes, and often within several months. It depends on the person, it just depends on the severity, it depends on their ego strength. The biggest thing they need to do is get the pressure out of the pressure cooker. So that means they want to find a therapist who they feel safe, first of all, they feel safe with. As they talk, they're going to let a little pressure out. As they feel, they're going to let a lot of pressure out. But they want to try and talk about what it is in that pressure cooker that's really the most traumatic for them, or the most specific to the cause of their panic attacks.
And sometimes you don't even realize it. You don't even realize what it is that's sitting in your pressure cooker, do you?
Sometimes you don't even know that there is any pressure in your pressure cooker, let alone what's in it, but that's the therapist's job, to help you to find out what is in it and then to help you to release it, if you will. Release the pressure out of the pressure cooker, get the feelings out. And oftentimes, as you get the feelings out, the beliefs become more positive automatically. You just, it's like, think of unburdening yourself.
Sure.
You know, you're carrying 100 pounds on your back, and as you're in therapy and you're talking about this stuff, you're letting more and more of that off of you, and you start to feel lighter and your mind calms down more, and obviously the panic attacks will decrease and hopefully completely cease.
Right. Now there's several different therapies that I know that you've worked with or that you recommend that are effective with panic.
Right. I think some people do cognitive behavioral. It's not something we do a lot of in the center solely for panic attacks. I think.
And cognitive means that it's focused on talking about it?
Talking about it, making some behavioral changes.
Okay.
Talking to yourself, self-talk. It's fine in the moment, but it's not going to, in my opinion, cure it.
In the long term.
This is my experience.
Okay.
People can differ. What I have found, what we have found works great are certain therapeutic techniques such as EMDR, psychodrama, guided imagery, gestalt therapy.
Now these are
the
therapies.
journey process is also very, very good.
The journey process, and of course there's more information about this that we can find through our website, but the broad spectrum, if we were going to generalize between these therapies and the cognitive behavioral therapy that you mentioned, the big difference would be what? Journeying back and realizing what it is.
Journeying back to the traumas and the negative experiences that are in the pressure cooker. But these tools, techniques really help them get to their feelings. The idea is you want to get the feelings out. If I can oversimplify, anxiety attacks are bottled up feelings. Depression is bottled up feelings. You get to and anxiety, you get the feelings out. You talk about the traumas, you get the feelings out, the pressure cooker decreases, and so do all of those problems.
Yeah, and we read when we were doing our research, too, that of the mental disorders, people who suffer from panic attacks have the lowest rate of seeking help. And I think that's so many different layers there. And I think it's why when we were talking about symptoms that you might experience, the physical and the emotional, that I wanted to say, those physical symptoms are real. They really are coming from that panic. So your heart really is racing. You're not going to die. But those things are really happening to you. So it's very, very, very important for you to be able to go and to release those feelings because that's the way to be able to seek treatment and hopefully be cured. Now, let's talk a little bit about being in the throes of a panic attack. If you're experiencing one, what are things that could be helpful, Marie?
As I said earlier, they come on so quickly and they escalate so quickly. So this,
so unexpectedly.
Try and do this, but you may not catch it on time. But you can prevent it maybe from getting as severe. Prevent it from getting as severe.
Yeah.
So. One thing I encourage clients to do is to feel their feet on the floor, feel their body in the chair, so they're in their body. That automatically has a calming effect.
Grounding yourself.
Grounding yourself, yes, centering yourself. Take some long, slow, deep breaths. And while you're doing that, I'm safe. It's okay. This is just some emotions. It's going to pass. You're doing some self-talk as you're doing some slow breathing. You might also take yourself on a guided imagery. Find a really safe place, like the beach.
I love that. I do that in my life all the time. And, you know, guided imagery, for me, it's a fancy term of closing my eyes and going to my safe place.
Right.
Whatever that might be for the situation or for what it is, and that can calm people down as well.
Right. So those are a few things that people can do in the moment.
Now, how about if you are with someone who is experiencing a panic attack?
Well, that would be similar. You want to encourage them to, you know, ground themselves, feel their body in the chair. Most importantly is that that person wants to stay very calm and centered, talk slow, talk softly, because that energy will help them to calm down a little bit. Breathe with them. Breathe with me, and as you're taking in a long, slow, deep breath and exhaling, you might take them on a guided imagery and remind them that they're safe.
Yeah, that's so important. Not to minimalize it, I understand.
Yes.
Not to say, you know, oh, stop worrying about it, this isn't happening to you.
Right.
Because I think that's a trap that I've read or I've heard that people fall into too, of saying like, okay, stop, it's enough. Get your mind on something else.
Right.
Instead, letting them calm down and really start to focus.
I think you really can't understand how severe it is unless it's your body that it's happening to. And people often just don't understand because they haven't experienced it themselves. Luckily, there are therapists that can compassionately understand, even if not, you know, having been through it themselves.
And when you mention that again, then I want to talk a little bit about if a friend or a family member, you know, loved one, you know they have been suffering from panic attacks. How can you help them? So not in the throes of one, but just because you know someone who does suffer from panic disorder.
You know, we often find that clients come to our office and they have been to a psychiatrist and they do have some medication. And, you know, medication is fine. That is a part of a solution. It will not cure it. I think it's okay if they absolutely need medication, go on medication, but most importantly is to get the therapy, because the therapy is going to get to the cause of the panic attacks. Medication is just going to treat the symptom.
And the therapy is not the same, although it's wonderful, it's not the same as opening up to a religious leader or to your community or to a loved one or to your parents or whoever. Those are very valuable too, but
well, that person probably can't help them get to the cause, and neither can they use any of these techniques. And we mentioned earlier about, you know, the techniques. It's not that when you're in this kind of therapy, using these therapeutic techniques, you're not doing some talk therapy. You are doing talk therapy, but the techniques specifically can help you to heal quicker and gentler. And again, they're EMDR, guided imagery. There's something new in the United States called the Journey process.
Excellent. And we can find all of this on our website. Marie, thank you so much for being here today. I'm hoping that people walk away realizing that it is treatable. They can get help. There is nothing wrong with them, and they're not crazy.
Yes, I hope so too. And thank you very much for having me.
Oh, thank you.